It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began.
You know we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way, yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Yesterday we used to rock the show. I laced the track, you locked the flow. So far from hanging on the block for dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. Through your family, I'll fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime, the night they took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
What a bond to break, I'll be missing
know you in heaven smiling down, watching us while we pray for you. Every day we pray for you, till the day we meet again. In my heart is where I keep you, friend. Memories give me the strength I need to proceed, strength I need to believe. My thoughts big, I just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time. Us in the six, shop for new clothes and kicks. You and me taking flicks, making hits, stages they receive you on. Still can't believe you're gone. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you still living your life after death. Is a day that I get closer to seeing you again. We miss you, babe, and we won't stop, 'cause we can't stop. That's right. We miss you, babe.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place.
How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began.
You know we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
I'll tell you.
When I see you again.
both go out your way, and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So remember me when I'm gone.
How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Seems like yesterday we used to rock the show. I laced the track, you locked the flow. So far from hanging on the block for dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. Through your family, I'll fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime, the night they took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death. Hard with you not around. Know you in heaven smiling down, watching us while we pray for you. Every day we pray for you, till the day we meet again. In my heart is where I keep you, friend. Memories give me the strength I need to proceed, strength I need to believe. My thoughts big, I just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time. Us in the six, shop for new clothes and kicks. You and me taking flicks, making hits, stages they receive you on. Still can't believe you're gone. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
Missing you. welcome. Welcome to our virtual memorial that we are having for Corinthians A. Rico Guy. We've all put a lot of our heart and our love in this, and we hope you will appreciate it as much as we do.
And this afternoon, I just want to share with you a Bible verse that you can find in Ecclesiastes 3. And it said, there is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to uproot. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to tear down, and a time to build. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones, and a time to gather them. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search, and a time to give up. A time to keep, and a time to throw away. A time to tear, and a time to mend. A time to be silent, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time for a war, and a time for peace.
Thank you, Lieutenant Miguel. The Salvation Army here on 14th Street has been a wonderful support for us, and we do want to thank you. This is the obituary. Corinthians A. Rico Guy, 76 years old, of Manhattan, died of a heart attack on Friday, April 10th, 2020, while walking to the store just 2 blocks from his 14th Street address. He was born in October 16, 1943, Rahway, New Jersey, son of the late Margaret Jackson Dixon and Corinthians Guy. He attended Harlem Prep High School and received his master locksmith license in 1978. At age 11, he began studying combat judo, then 6 additional martial arts, Ishinryu, Goju, Iaido, Kendo, Shorinji Kempo, and Jo. Then he did that until he opened his own schools in 1972 and 74. He stood out as a martial artist because he was a physical genius who took pride and time in mastering his craft and truly lived a warrior's life. He not only lived the warrior's life, but he was a man of the people. That's why they called him the mayor of 14th Street. On a lighter side, he was funny and loved to make people laugh. On a serious side, he could see something, duplicate it, give it his flair, and give it a new life all of its own. And that's how he established his own system called Go Kempo Jitsu. As a young man, he learned to hustle and grind hard, and that nothing would come easy. You have to go out and get it if you really want it. And he would say, if you don't ask, you don't get. And if you don't get, at least you asked. Rico would then say, do it right the first time or don't do it at all. His reputation was built on his dedication to the martial arts, to his family, to believing that life isn't fair, but you must pay it forward. There were times he was down and out, but he still remained resilient. He often gave and helped those in need. If he had $1, it was yours. He was a no-frills kind of guy and had a smile that would light up a room and instilled confidence in everyone he met. He was always full of stories that touched you and gave you pearls of wisdom. His most influential stories were about his training in the martial arts and in Japan. Yes, he has definitely left a footprint on this earth. Legends live forever.
Heavenly Father, in this in this afternoon, we just came to you, Father, to present and honor and celebrate the life of Rico guy. Father, a person who he left a legacy in this place. A person who left his footprint in this community, in his family, and in his school, Father. And in this morning, in this afternoon, we want to just celebrate his life, Father, and remind him that he was a person who have principles, and he followed his principles, Father, and that with that he impact a lot of life. And now we can celebrate together, Father, that he was a good influence for our life. And in this afternoon, we just want to present this ceremony to you and his life to you. And Father, that you can, your present can keep going with his family, his friends, and everybody who they know him, Father. Thank you for your ears that you are listening to us in this afternoon. And all these things I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Survivors include wife Penny Johnson Guy, a son William Guy, daughter-in-law Benine, a daughter Margaret Guy with 9 wonderful grandchildren, Corinthian, Calvin, Katrina, Christopher, Christina, Francette, Montague, Tony, and Waden. There are 10 great-grandchildren and 1 great-great-grandchild. He has a sister, Sheila Carter. Corinthians Rico Guy was preceded in death by his sisters, Beverly Jackson, who happened to die on the same day that Corinthians Rico died. And also Mary Branch and brother David Guy have also predeceased him. Special mention to extended family members, Pat, Phyllis, Joanne, Chris, David, Michelle, Dorothea, Anjanette, Yvonne, and Nikki.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. See you in a better place.
How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began.
You know, we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Let me tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond. And that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood comes first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn. And that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone.
How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
This right here, tell me what goes out to everyone that has lost someone that they truly love. Come on, check it out. Seems like yesterday we used to rock the show. I laced the track, you locked the flow. So far from hanging on the block for dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. Through your family, I'll fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime, the night they took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you.
It's kinda hard with you not around. Know you in heaven smiling down, watching us while we pray for you. Every day we pray for you, till the day we meet again. In my heart is where I keep you, friend. Memories give me the strength I need to proceed, strength I need to believe. My thoughts big, I just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time. Us in the six, shop for new clothes and kicks. You and me taking flicks, making hits, stages they receive you on. Still can't believe you're gone. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you. Somebody tell me why. One bad morning when this life is over, I know I'll see your face.
Every night I pray, every step I take, every move I make, every single day, every night I pray.
Every day that passes is a day that I get closer. Seeing you again. We miss you, babe. And we won't stop. Cause we can't stop. That's right. We miss you, babe.
Every step I take, every move I make,
been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond. And that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood comes first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn. And that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
So let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go. And every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
This right here, Genuine, goes out to everyone that has lost someone that they truly love. Come on, check it out. Seems like yesterday we used to rock the show. I laced the track, you locked the flow. So far from hanging on the block for dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. Through your family, I'll fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime, the night they took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you.
hard with you not around. Know you in heaven smiling down, watching us while we pray for you. Every day we pray for you, till the day we meet again. In my heart is where I keep you, friend. Memories give me the strength I need to proceed, strength I need to believe. My thoughts big, I just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time. Us in the six, shop for new clothes and kicks. You and me taking flicks, making hits, stages they receive you on. Still can't believe you're gone. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you still living your life after death.
I take, every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you. Somebody tell me why. One bad morning, when this life is over, I know I'll see your face.
Every night I pray, every step I take, every move I make, every single day, every night I pray.
Every day that passes is a day that I get closer to seeing you again. We miss you, babe, and we won't stop, cause we can't stop. That's right.
Good evening. Well, Daddy, aka Rico Guy. Well, I'm just thankful I got a chance to speak with you before you passed away and went to the journey with our Heavenly Father. I just need to tell you that I understand the word like your formula, the concept, and I finally got it. I use each and every word that you have taught me every day in my life. Thank you.
Greetings. Letter to my pops. What can I say about my pops, Chief Grandmaster Rico Guy? He was a real one. Real in the sense that real recognizes real. Real ones who overstand can feel me. More so, like many of his peers, he was cut from a cloth that is discontinued. Being rare, that is. Pops believe that iron sharpens iron and will always tell me to stay sharp. As I would see him training hard to sharpen his skills and knowledge in order to pass the skills and wisdom on to fellow friends, family, students, and masters alike. He would say, if you're not ready for war, don't go into battle. But if you do, destroy and conquer. My pops would then tell me an Abraham Lincoln quote, which I think he remixed, to be honest with you. He would say, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening my sword. It's through these lessons and so many more I have learned to triumph through the ups and downs and be masterful in my approach in this thing we call life. If I was to use a word to describe my pops, there is no such thing because he was so much more and then some. I would have to say devotion. He was devoted husband to my mother Penny. He was devoted to his martial arts brothers and sisters and ultimately his craft of martial arts, which he took so much pride in. He was so into martial arts training that he really lived a warrior's life. And let me tell you, so much so that it was almost a blur between Hanshi Rico Guy and simply just being my pops. My pops was always creating and formulating techniques that he would try on me, no matter where I was at or what I was doing. We could be in the elevator, and it didn't matter. He would attack me and see how it would respond in close quarters. Sometimes I'd be eating at a casual restaurant, and he would creep up on me and put me in a chokehold and see if I was on point. And he would say, never keep your back to the door and always watch your surroundings. He would also say, son, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Life isn't fair, and you have to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Those words were spoken from a true warrior. But I could sum it up by saying this is a devastating loss for the world, and his soul will live on through all of us. He would say, I chose this life, and all I want to do is keep martial arts alive. Us, Pops, I ask you to guide us all as we strive for greatness. Blessings to all who are watching. We appreciate your continued support. Us, Pops, till we meet again. Thank you.
I wrote a little something to my father-in-law. Um, and it goes like this. I came into your family. I was so nervous and afraid, especially coming from South Africa to New York. I didn't know what I would find, but you gently eased my mind. You made me feel right at home. From the very first day that we met, you welcomed me with open arms. And for that, I'm forever grateful. You always encouraged me to put my best foot forward and to stay strong as a woman and fight for what I believe in. I will always cherish the wonderful times we shared together, especially our silly jokes and serious talks about life. I'm sorry I never got to teach you Afrikaans like you always asked. I will always say next week. We'll work on it. I'm sorry you would never get to travel back to South Africa like me and you always planned. Thank you for all the things you taught me. I will hold it dear to my heart. Even though you were my father-in-law, to me you were more than that, more like a second father. And for that, I thank God for blessing me with the best. We miss you. May your soul rest in peace.
Dear Granddad, I miss you so much. I feel sad that you were gone. You were my hero and best friend. You taught me a lot of good things. I will always remember how me and you watched movies together and had big bowls of cereal. You made me overcome my fears and trained me to fight bullies. My granddad would say, "Can you do it or can you handle it?" And that always made me laugh. We had our own language that we made up and would always talk to each other and laugh about it. I will always remember you, Granddad. I love you and miss you.
The passing of a grandmaster. I've known Rico Guy for over 50 years. We were dojo brothers back in the 60s with Grandmaster Frank Ruiz and Grandmaster Peter Urban. Rico was one of the best swordsmen I've ever met. He was a great karate man. He studied with Sonny DeBasey, Frank Ruiz, Grandmaster Peter Urban. It's so sad to see my friends leaving, passing, and then Rico had such a legacy. He had one of the longest running dojos in Manhattan for years. produced some amazing students. Rico and I hung out plenty of times at the Electric Circus and in the Dome back in the 60s and 70s. Great man, great martial artist. I really miss him. You know, one of the last times I saw him was in November, and I sat with Penny and Rico. It was just great to see them. It's sad to see the people that I know in the martial arts, Sensei Urban, Sensei Ruiz, Rico Guy, Earl Monroe. The list goes on and on and on, and one day I'll be on that list. But Rico, I appreciate everything I ever learned from you. All the lessons on and off the mat. You're a very special person, and you will be missed, my friend. Love you too, Penny.
My name is Rick Lynch's 10th degree black belt, Shotokan Karate, with the title given to me by Aaron Banks as Great Grandmaster. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm just Sensei. This is for Rico Guy. Rico, I love you, man. You're more than a brother to me. We've been together forever. I don't remember when we started, but I remember so much about you. Whether it be in Atlantic City with a whole of honors awards, or if it was in the Soki Council Soki ship in Florida, we always shared the room. We shared each other together. Rico is one of the finest, humblest, most sensitive, brilliant, philosophical person I know. When he talks, he's beautiful, but if you listen to him, he is all martial arts. Everything about him, he lives, breathes. He can't live without martial arts because he's one of the warriors, the real warriors, and I always call him the Black Samurai. But he's more than that. Rico Cornelius Guy. Thing about him though, I have some asshole going by. One of the things that I wanted you to know is Rico first came to my apartment at 250 Mercer Street with Marshall Harris. Rico was in his samurai gear with his sword and sitting in the back of Marshall Harris, who was also dressed up as a ninja. And they drove into the lobby, into the elevator, up 4 or 5 floors, in the motorcycle, down the hallway to my apartment, where I was with Shelley, my wife. They came in and we ate, no joke, $500, a mountain of sushi. Alan Fisher was there, but between Marshall and Rico and Alan and me, we got it all done. I could tell you a million stories about Rico. He made us laugh. He made us feel good. He was a hell of a teacher. I was one of his students in Iaido, and I thank you very much, and I love you for it. Rest in peace, my brother. See you. See you on the other side.
Hello, I'm Fernando Villegas, and the Hanshi was my teacher. He was far more than that. He was my mentor and a father figure. I met the Hanshi over 20 years ago, at a time I needed him most. I was probably 260 pounds and on a path that would lead to nowhere good. And the moment I met him, I knew he was someone special, someone with a light. And I knew immediately that I needed to be a part of his life. And from that moment on, he has been a teacher. And even in death, he has taught me a great deal. And that's the beauty of the Hanshi, that no matter what, he will always be teaching me. He will always speak to me. All I can say is I will miss him terribly in this life, and I will meet him in the next. And I just want to say thank you, Hanshi. Thank you. Thank you for being the man you were, because you brought so much joy and laughter to my life. You brought so much humility and humbleness. And I just want to say again, I am blessed to have had you in my life, and I am blessed to hold you in my heart and mind. Os.
My name is Felice Armia III, Kyoshi of Temple of Nemesis Jiu-Jitsu School, style of Akiyamaru Jiu-Jitsu. I've been training in the martial arts for well over 30 years, and I have come across some great martial arts masters. One such is Chief Grandmaster Rico of the U.S. Budokai Con. An inspiration to many, and to myself, a friend, a confidant, and a mentor. Someone who I was able to always turn to whenever situations in my life were going awry. He has been a person who has been influential in my martial arts career from the beginning of when I was 14 years old up until well into my 40s. I could not think of a better martial arts master to have trained under and a better friend to have been acquainted with. He will be sorely missed in this world. To Chief Grandmaster Rico and his family, my condolences. We love you and we miss you, and we will never forget you. Puss.
This is Hanshi Steve Kaufman. I am very saddened by the passing of my brother, my friend, Rico Guy, one of the few people in the martial arts world that I respected for many reasons, mainly that he lived the life of the true warrior, a true samurai. He will be sorely missed. All the warriors come together now and celebrate this great master. Us.
Rico Guy, Hanshi. He could be fierce, yet funny, commanding, yet kind, serious, yet loving, strong, and yet gentle. He was wise and crazy. He could be sometimes rough around the edges, but always sweet and very, very smooth. A magnanimous man. The universe is gaining an extraordinary spirit. I'm sorry that the world is losing such a phenomenal soul. A true man of Budo. I hope all of his students come together and do the right thing, take care of his dojo and his most beloved. May he rest in eternity with our ancestors and train and party as much as he loved to do on the planet. See you soon, Rico. Us!
Hello, my name is Kyoshi Carlos Verone. When asked to talk about Sensei Guy and only had a minute to talk about him, it's a tough challenge. The man exemplified so many things that to capture it in 1 minute is impossible. But as a friend who has known him since as far back as '74 when we studied together with Sensei Otani, his character, his presence, his confidence, his ability to support, his ability to be just a force to be reckoned with an energy that was just amazing, is something that will be in our hearts and our minds forever. He was always there for me to support me, comfort me, and give me his opinion, whether I wanted it or not. So, Penny, thank you for sharing him with us all these many years. You have been an inspiration, along with him in my life, and his strength, his confidence, his ability to just translate that energy and to make me feel better about myself through training, through personal relationship, has been an inspiration, and I hope it is something that his legacy will continue in all of us in one way or another. Thank you for sharing him with us.
Hello, family. This is very difficult for me to do. Pay homage to my closest friend in the martial arts, Rico Guy. I love that brother. He's the only martial artist that I knew besides Professor V that had such a childlike quality in their spirit. As powerful and as deadly as he is, or as he was, there was this childlike quality and innocence about Rico. I've known Rico over 35 years. We've traveled together. I took him with me to Brazil to introduce stick fighting in Capoeira. We've shared hotels together. We've traveled to other states together. With all of his knowledge, he allowed me, and I felt so honored to share my stick fighting with him. He was also my Iaido teacher. I loved him. Oh God, this shit is so hard. I love Rico very much. He was like family to me. He was really the only person that I could hang out with, that there was no ego. We would share knowledge, share concepts, discuss martial arts. His favorite thing is, I'm just trying to keep martial arts alive. And I really respected him. He was like a genius in the martial arts. He didn't have a great formal education, but when it came to martial arts, he could see it, duplicate it, and expand upon it. And very few people can do that. They get stuck. He didn't get stuck. I loved him very much. And I will really, really, really miss him. There aren't that many martial artists left. There's a lot of us passing, and we look around to see who we could leave our legacies and our hard work to. There's not many. Most people are not, they don't know how to persevere. They don't know how to be dedicated. They don't understand the humility of martial arts, the continued study and growth of martial arts. Me and Rico used to talk about this all the time, with the grandioso titles, and oh man, I just miss my brother so much. And I pray for the family. Anything that they need from me, just ask me, and I'll be there for you. I gotta stop. God bless you, Rico. They say that when people cry for you, you ride their tears to heaven. If they don't cry for you, you're a ghost and you're stuck here. So Rico, let my tears transport you, my brother.
I've never been more honored than to have been asked to say something about a man who was my teacher, my mentor, and above all, my friend. His name was Corinthian Rico Guy, Chief Grandmaster. He passed away recently, and the martial art world as we know it will forever be changed. He truly was the Black Samurai. I'm going to miss the talks we used to have. I'm going to miss when he would do his thing when he's fussing at somebody. I used to crack up. And the knowledge that flowed from that man's mind, from his soul, will truly, truly be missed. Heaven's got a good collection of some great martial artists right now. I guess they needed more to change things up, because within the last month they took quite a few. So you will always be missed, Chief Grandmaster. You will always be that samurai, that warrior. No greater thing has ever come across of a person who truly was a peaceful warrior. Peaceful in the sense that he had it within himself and spread it amongst others. But when if he needed to go to war, he would. And just knowing that, a lot of people rested easy. Thank you. Domo arigato gozaimasu, Chief Grandmaster, for all you gave us, for all you gave me. I love you dearly, will always love you, will always talk about you, because you have known me since I was a child. And now you've passed on. God bless. Stay close to us in heaven. Us.
Bush, my name is Kelsey Superstretch. We lost a great man in the city of New York. A big mentor to a lot of programs, especially mine, at the Superstretch School Self-Defense program, which I run. The Guardian Angels junior program for 32 years. And Rico Guy for over 30 years. He's a big mentor. He was like a father figure to me and a grandfather to a lot of kids in our programs in the city of New York. He was always there supporting the kids, encouraging the kids, and he was always there to advise me and to always looking to improve the program. And I really miss him. I love him a lot. That'll never stop, and we miss him dearly. I was just recently at the Hall of Fame, 220, in January, in Action Martial Arts magazine. And, I will never forget him. It's a big loss to the martial arts world. He's never show anger. He's always a happy person, and he looked to make peace between people which had problems or misunderstandings in the world of martial arts and brought people together. He'll always be loved and remembered, and like him, he was very unique. Always rest in peace, Grandmaster Rico Guy. I love you.
Hello, I am Hanchi Lingo. I'd like to give a tribute to my good friend, Ambushi, warrior, Corinthians Rico Guy, who's the U.S. Budokai headmaster, Karate Kempo, Jiu-Jitsu Aido Kendo, for more than 45 years. I was at his 40th anniversary in 2014 at the Kampai celebration. He opened the school in 1974. It was the longest run martial arts establishment in New York City. Rico, born in 1943, began his training in 1954, 3 years after I was born. So you could see how old he was compared to myself. I met Rico around 1968 or 69. Master Urban brought us from New Jersey to New York to meet Ron Takanashi and Owen Watson and a great number of great martial artists, too numerous to state. We trained from 68 to 70, back and forth. Rico was the only person that I knew who had trained with the Japanese at the Japanese Cultural Center. I was impressed with that. And he trained in Kenjutsu and Iaido. My instructor, Dr. Artisi, trained us with the live blade in cutting, the angles of cutting. But we didn't train specifically with the live blade like Rico did. We trained with the Borkin, and we trained in full Kendo armor. I next met Rico in around 1971 at the annual Olympic Center tournament that we would hold. People from, that was held in Bridgeton at Bridgeton High School. People from Connecticut, New Hampshire, Western Pennsylvania, New York. Many, many places came, and Rico was one of them. During the next 40 years, I never got to train at the 110 West 14th Street in New York, New York. But shortly thereafter, I did get to train with him in his school after I went there for the 2014 Kampai. Well, what I really remember, it's not the tournaments of Aaron Banks in Sunnyside Gardens or the Felt Forum in 1971, 72 through 74. But what I remember is a meeting at Aaron Banks' New York Karate Academy on 7th Avenue in Manhattan, where two men stood out. A man by the name of Ernest Hyman, a student of Aaron Banks himself, and Rico Guy. They were no nonsense individuals. Rico eventually left Nisei. In 68 or 69, Aaron Banks promoted the tournaments in Queens. Master Urban would bring us there to see many of the Grand Masters. Jim Kelly was there at one of the tournaments. We got to see a Ron Takanashi fight, Chuck Norris fight. Owen Watson actually was a good fighter. Rico was a fighter that would be similar to Mitchell Barbaro. He came straight in. He was a no-nonsense, and you had to defend yourself or run out the ring. We got to see, I thought he would have been a better person to fight, Joe Louis. We got to see Victor Moore in his heavyweight debut with Joe Louis. And whether Vic lost or not, if Rico had fought him during that time, there would have been no hands down that Rico would have won. He was just that type of fighter. Now, just to tell you, there'll be a gulf of missing information, not just in the sword budo, but in all types of martial arts information. I'd like to tell you how I felt about Rico. Rico is the Oishi. Oishi was the head retainer of the 47 Ronin. And the word Oishi, which we sometimes say mistakenly, Oishi meant drop everything and follow. Rico is the Oishi. What it really means is, Oishi means loyalty even after death. Rico is our Oishi. It was once said so gracefully in a book called Bushido, about the 7 codes of Bushido, and the most important code represents my friend, Corinthians Rico Guy. He represents the word loyalty. Izuno Notobi wrote the book, and he wrote these words, which my instructor taught me very well. Loyalty, as we conceive it, may find few admirers elsewhere, not because our conception is wrong, but because I am afraid it is forgotten. Never forget my friend Rico Guy. Never forget the Oishi, the Bushi, the Bujay. He was the man to follow. He has taught us all many things, and there's a gulf of information that he had to teach that he never got opportunity to teach. Please make sure that you show your loyalty to Rico by showing your loyalty to his dojo and his beautiful wife, Miss Penny Johnson. Show your loyalty after death. I am Hanchi Lingo, Mikio Kaden, Chief Instructor for the New Jersey State Black Belt Association. I am so happy to make these statements about Rico. Sorry that it took so long. Thank you very much.
What do you say about Grandmaster Rico Guy? Extraordinaire. Amazing man. He is the critique master. He is the swordsman's master. He has no problems coming to someone and letting them know, you're doing that wrong. This is how it should be done. He came out to me in the middle of the floor, my opening ceremony for the sword seminar, and asked me, why are you moving so slow? Speed it up. What did I do? I sped it up because the Grandmaster has spoken and he demanded your attention. He will get you to do what he wants. If not, you will hear about it all day, all day, all day. Grandmaster Rico Guy, I salute you. Tanya Jones.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zoe Feldman, and I first met Hansai in the winter of 1994. That Christmas, my boyfriend's mother gave me a gift of 2 weeks of free classes to the dojo. I had no idea what Iaido was. I am not sure what my mindset was at the time, but I came in, I took a class, did the 2 weeks, and then basically didn't leave for 9 years. Hansai helped make me the person that I am today, not only as a human being, but also as a movement teacher. He had this beautiful gift of being able to communicate something so profound, so deep, and so special with so few words and in such a simple way. There was just the tiniest gesture he would give that would tell you volumes. And there was something about the way that he moved and the way that he taught that I felt I could truly embody. I felt so connected to the work, so connected to the movement, like it was coming from a place very deep down inside of me. And he really changed my life forever. I think the resilience and the strength that I built training in Iaido and knowing him helped get me through some really tough times. I was always very nice to everyone, but Hansai would say, watch out, she'll cut you. And I just knew that he always had my back and always believed in me and believed in my strength. I've been thinking about him so much and feeling so much pain and sadness, especially for his family. But I know that his legacy will be carried forward through his students.
Rico Guy. I love you, Rico Guy. I met Rico Guy back in 2012 and was immediately impressed. He was such a humble person. It drew me to him. He showed such a good example, and he had such a humorous way of making things. He was a fun to be with. He had many students, and they were the better for it. He had many friends, and they were the better for it. It was a pleasure knowing Rico Guy. He was a great example, a great institution. He had the oldest, if not one of, the oldest schools, martial arts schools in the city of New York. I will miss him. I was so shocked to hear that he had departed. I love you, Mr. Guy, and our spirits will meet again. Peace and love.
Greetings. I met Hanchi Rico Guy back in 1992. I just graduated from college, and a friend of mine had told me about an instructor that showed real martial arts. I came into the dojo about a midday, I remember. No one was there, and it was just Hanchi. And we sat and we talked. He started talking about life and, a little bit about martial arts. And I remember I was like, I just want to know if they spar in here. So I brought up, hey, do you guys spar in here? And I saw his eyes light up. He said, yeah, we work hard and we spar. And right at that moment, I said, yeah, this is where I want to be at. From that time on, I've seen many examples of the true man and the true spirit of this person, and him taking in friends, old friends of him that might have been on hard times or other martial artists, and allowing them sometimes to sleep in the dojo or just teach in the dojo. It showed me his confidence and not being afraid to let other martial arts teach his students because he was well versed in his level of expertise. also many of the times we're just talking to him in the dojo and walking with him on the streets of 14th Street, and also working with him in security and in clubs, that I try to see the true humor and the laughter and the spirit of this man. As much as he taught me in martial arts, it's those moments outside the dojo that I cherish the most. He became like a family member to me in good and bad times, and shared many moments with my family. I think one of the funnier moments in my life with Hanchi is he used to go into, as many of you may know, this language where he would either speak in this African dialogue that he made up, or his Japanese Shinto Buddhist prayer that he would do. The irony of it, the first time he did it, I'm looking around and saying, does anybody else understand what he's saying? But over time, I would, in our relationship, you gain the unspoken word communication, and I would start to get the intent of what he was saying. And as I seen the other new students being perplexed, I would explain what he was saying to the other students. I found that extremely funny, from going from bewilderment to understanding this man without even speaking. He was like a father and an uncle to me, and I'm going to miss him dearly. But as I said before, he was the ideal of true warrior. He went from a soldier, from being out there and being a true fighter on the streets and in the dojo and in the tournament, to a well-rounded, beautiful spiritual being. And I'm going to miss him. Rest in power. I know you watch over us, Hanchi. Us.
First met Hansai about 20 years ago when I first walked into the dojo, which is crazy to me because that's like over half my life ago, and can't imagine spending it in a better way. As everybody watching this knows, you know, Hansai was definitely more than just an instructor teaching you martial arts. To me, he became like a second dad. He was always there when I needed it, and he was even there when I didn't even know I needed it. I just had a son about a month ago, and one of the things that's really sad to me is that they'll never get to meet. But I'm sure he's gonna get old enough soon, and he's gonna say, what's the deal with all the swords on your wall? And then I'll get to teach him all of the things that Hachi taught me. So, rest in peace.
Us, my name is Chihan Valentine. I'm Rico Guy, high-ranking belt in the Idol. I hold 4 different styles of karate: Shotokan, Gokenpo Jitsu, and the Idol. It's just devastating to me to hear that Hanchi is not here with us no more. He passed away on Good Friday. My condolences to the family, to Kiyoshi, Penny, and Will, and Nina, and Jaden, to the family. We keep them in prayer, lift them up. It breaks my heart that he's not here. I know Hanchi 30 years. I met him at Allen Goldberg's tournament. He saw me one time and he told me that keep training hard, never back up. Always go forward in fights. Train good in katas. He always told me that, Valentine, you're strong and you're my disciple. And I always remember that because he always gave me wisdom. Hanchi was a man who loved martial art. He contributed to all karate schools and tournaments. He was there supporting the organization. His wife supported him. His wife stuck by him. Penny, he said he always loved his wife and loved his students. He loved teaching his students with patience and with love. He was always funny. Sometimes he would feel he's tired, he's not feeling well. He told me to teach a class and he would say, take over, and he would sit down. And I would train the students in calisthenics and push-ups and hard training. We go old school. They couldn't keep up with the training. Hanchi would say, he's 61 years old, Valentine, you can't keep up with the training, young guys. These young guys can't keep up with the training. Hanchi will always laugh. We would laugh, we would drink together, sake, smoke cigars. I'm going to miss those good old times. I just want to say my goodbyes to Hanchi and his family, that the legend lives, and the legend is not going to die. He lives in our hearts, in our spirits. And thank you for everything you have done for us and all the black belts you taught. Okay? Thank you. Us!
When the smoke clears, I want to be standing. Keep getting up. This journey is about seeking knowledge, seeking truth. We are on this amazing journey filled with inspirational and talented warriors and teachers. Along the way, a mighty warrior appeared, not menacing, but smiling and nurturing. A selfless and serving mentor and role model stood up. Sharp as his sword, even sharper was his sight, reflecting the way, expressing the truth, through loving and caring, providing an exemplary example for the martial world community. Let's celebrate. The universe has a new star in the heavens. Rest in peace, my dear friend, Chief Hanshi Rico Guy of the U.S. Budokai Kai. All the warriors say, Us. Love you. Aloha.
From my first day walking into the dojo to the last class that I was fortunate enough to have with Hanchi, I was always surprised by how quick he was to laugh at any joke or how generous he was to give out his vast knowledge of any subject, from the lesson at hand in martial arts to the wisdom that he had accumulated through his entire life. There are very few people quite as generous as Hanchi was, and we are all blessed to have been able to be part of his life and have him be part of ours. Hanchi, I love you and I miss you.
I first was introduced to Chief Grandmaster Rico Guy by my friend Tony, who was a second-degree black belt with Chakazulu in Nisei Goju. I was very impressed by his abilities. So in 1974, I joined the school, and Rico became more than a Chief Grandmaster to me, became an older brother and family. He taught me quite a few great lessons in life. And I miss him very much. I love him. He's my older brother. His contributions to the martial arts are endless, and he will be missed. God bless him. That's it.
Hi, I'm Kazumi Terada. I've known Hanshi for over 17 years now. I met him through one of his students, Sensei Rick. We were married for over a decade, and our son went to karate classes at U.S. Budokai Kai. How I remember Hanshi is that he was always kind to us, and he's always helped us through our life's most difficult challenges. He was always there for us, and he was always funny. And I always remember him saying, "Honto desu ka?" which is like, really in Japanese. And he had his own language. He had kind of his own way of mixing up different languages and making it his own. It was always funny, and that would cheer us up. Yeah, and he was just always so kind to us. We will miss you, and I just wanted to write out this Furin Kazan, which you've seen at the dojo as a sign on the wall. It's swift as the wind, Fu is wind, quiet as the forest, Bin, intense as fire, Ka, and Zan, still as a mountain. And so with these elements and wisdom, I hope that you will be with us forever in our hearts. Thank you.
My honor and sincere love and gratitude to my teacher, to my cousin, and to my greatest supporter. There's much to be said in a very little time. I give honor and thanks to the Creator for my time and human experience with the divine spiritual being, Hanshi Rico Guy. We are all exceedingly blessed to have shared the love of the martial arts and life with him. The most significant thing a student can ever experience from their teacher is to receive their approval and their blessing. I will forever be grateful, and I honor him, and I wish to give him this prayer. Ancestors, I call you. Ancestors, I greet you. Praise to the spirit of the ancestors. The wisdom of the ancestors is here. Good fortune comes from the wisdom of the ancestors. When I do not know what road to follow, I will turn to the wisdom of the ancestors. I thank my ancestors. We say Ashe. As long as we live, they too will live. For they are now part of us, and as we remember them. Ashe. My love and honor to all of the family during this time. I am here with you. I stand with you and support. God bless you all. Peace.
Hey, Granddad, it's Chris, your grandson. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all the wonderful opportunities. Thank you. Thank you for showing me and giving me tough love. Thank you. Thank you, and always telling me I'll never give up on your dreams, and anything that you want to do, you can do it. Thank you, Granddad. I'll never forget them, and I'll always remember it. Just like I always remember some of the trips that we've been on, such as going to Europe and my personal favorite, Bermuda, when it was just me and you. It was such a wonderful time, and I got to hear awesome stories from fellow masters about the most legendary guy of all, Chief Grandmaster Rico Guy. I'll never forget it, Granddad. Just like I'll never forget going to Europe with you, driving along the Autobahn, and you speeding down 90 miles per hour on the highway. Such a wonderful time. I love you, Granddad.
Good evening. My name is Sensei Gene Adams, and I'm a member of the Harlem Goju Association. I'm submitting this with respect to Chief Grandmaster Rico Guy. I've had the opportunity of being a participant in the Grandmaster's workshops over the last few years, and as a novice, I was treated and felt as if I was a full-fledged member of Grandmaster Guy's community. He was very warm, very caring, and he always had the jokes. I really appreciated his and Grandmaster Penny's honesty and openness in welcoming myself into their dojo. I'm saddened, but at the same time I'm enlightened because the Grandmaster put forward such a profound history that members of his community have taken his vision and will move forward with it and continue to honor his contribution. Again, thank you, Grandmaster, and thank you, Grandmaster Penny, for inviting me to make this contribution. Thank you again. Good night.
Hi. So today I was given a call from Sifu Ruben Torres, who said that there's a collection of 1 minute, 60-second videos to say quick testimonial regarding to Mr. Rico Guy, Hanshi. I came to Hanshi when I was 21, lost, and had a lot of issues in my life. And he spoke to me as a father, as a man, as an instructor, and as a black man. And that meant a lot to me. He's been in my life. Penny has always been there checking on me here in Japan, calling on to make sure my family's okay. And he will always be missed. He will always be missed, and he will always be loved, especially by me. Thank you for everything you've done. Everything, every memory you left with me. Your heart carried so much weight for everyone, and thank you so much for getting us this far. Goodbye.
So me and Hanshi, we had a lot of adventures together over the years, from making movies and creating comic books and promoting, you know. he was a showman. Everybody loved him. You know, they would come far and wide just to meet him. He was full of excitement all the time, and but yet, you know, with all the great personality he had this martial arts skill with the sword where he would pull it out. Believe it or not, everybody would be scared deep inside because you were in the presence of the top martial artists. You know, he would pull that sword out. You knew it was dangerous. He was dangerous with that thing. I've stood there. He'd pull it out right in front of me. I could feel the winds right off of just the draw of the sword. You know, when we did the all these things together, you know, I never thought that Hanshi would ever disappear from this earth. You know, he was my great friends, and I love him, and I think you all do too. So I pay homage to my friend Hanshi Rico Guy, and may he rest in heaven.
My story, how I met Hanshi, was at Carmine's Recreation Center. He was practicing and teaching seniors some calisthenics, martial arts. I was there stretching on my own. He called me over. I'm like, who's this guy? He said, just get in the fighting stance. Got in the fighting stance. Next thing you know, he said, throw a punch. I landed on my back. Next day, I was in the school. Us, Hanshi, Chief Grandmaster Rico Guy, the myth, the man, the legend, forever in my heart. Peace.
Some of the fondest memories I have of me and Hanshi were the Saturdays for Kendo, where classes would start at noon, and we would spar until maybe like 4 o'clock, but never even realized it. We just put a Brogu on, and we just went at it toe-to-toe, nonstop. And by the time we were done, we're wondering why we're so tired, why we're so hungry. Yeah, 4 hours, dead of summer, about to pass out. Those were the memories that I will cherish the most of Hanshi, the ones that stand out to me. It was always my dream as a kid to learn a Japanese sword, and he's the man who made my dream come true.
Hi, I'm Robert Fernandez. I'm a third-degree black belt with Hanshi, as well as a black belt in Go Kempo Jitsu. Hanshi was an incredible teacher. He certainly fulfilled his purpose. He instilled strength in all of us, and he left an impression on all of us that will affect not only ourselves, but everyone we come in contact with for the greater good. He certainly was the definition of a martial arts teacher. And it's very personal what he meant, but to everyone. So it's very difficult to put in words what he actually did.
So my name is Rashawn Davis. I was a student of Hanshi Rico Ga, Chief Grandmaster. Basically, he taught me and raised me to the level of black belt, to become a sensei. My first, interaction with him. I just felt like family, in the dojo. That's all I could, express pretty much. It's just there's so many stories I could go into. I only really got a minute, but he not only taught me martial arts and the love and passion that he shared for, but he also we shared things about life. So I looked at him as family, and he'll be missed. I'm still like in disbelief that my teacher is gone, because I shared a lot of life decisions as well as memories with him. So Hanshi, I love you, and I'll see you soon, man.
Oh, it's family. This is Sensei Chris, New York State Judo,
USA Judo, dropping a few words about Hanshi Rico Guy. You know, it's been a couple of weeks since his passing, and it's really hard to process, 4 decades of friendship, mentorship, and a sense of community. You would always see Brother Rico cheering on people at tournaments, attending seminars. When he got a ride, if he didn't get a ride, he'd jump on that iron horse and traverse the city, all boroughs, all throughout the tri-state area, supporting his community. Just a truly, truly amazing teacher, friend to me, and I'm going to miss him terribly. My sincere condolences to Miss Penny, who, with no Rico, there would be no Penny, and with no Penny, there would be no Rico. They were one of a kind, a wonderful couple, loving parents to their children, and also to their dojo children. So I'm going to miss you. You'll always be with me. You've left an indelible mark on New York City, and I'm going to miss having sushi. I'm going to miss talking to you, brother. I'm going to miss you stopping me in the street whenever you saw me and, tapping me on the shoulder. Us, my friend.
The thing I remember about Rico Guy is his patience, his understanding, and his mentorship, as well as being my friend. Rico would break down things in the martial art world for you where you can understand it, where even the simplest person can do it. He could be hard sometimes, but that's part of the training. He wasn't hard in the bad sense, to hurt, but hard to make you face your fears or your shortcomings, and to push through any pain that you might be experiencing, but not to the point that you hurt yourself really bad. Just enough to make you understand that you can do it and not give up on yourself. He was my friend and a good friend, and I dearly and truly miss him.
Hunch, man, just want to say I miss you, man. You taught me a lot, you showed me a lot, man. So I appreciate everything that you've given me. The sake nights, just sharing stories, old martial arts stories. Never forget the time that you would talk about throwback dojo. Used to make me imagine what it would be like to be in that era. When you used to have the fights in your dojo and you said you seen somebody get knocked out while they were standing up. I always thought that was the funniest story. That was one of the things that stood out about you was your storytelling. I aspire to tell stories like you. You always, got the crowd moving. So I appreciate you. One time for the one time. Hunchini, right?
Sometimes I would try and get to the dojo before my class to see what he's doing with the other students, and it was just always amazing to see how he can move, how he can change techniques, how he'll go from one sword to a hand, to a different sword, to a staff, to another hand, and he just made it look all too easy. And I remember one time, it was dinner time during a kendo class, and he was eating a sandwich with one hand, and with the other hand, when other students used a sword, he had his finger to redirect everything in kendo and do this or that. And he was knocking people around with just one finger and a sandwich in the other hand. Just mastery and yet calmness altogether.
Hello, I'm Randy Kendricks, and I'm speaking on my teacher, my mentor, Hanchi Rico Guy, and how much he meant to me. Hanchi Rico Guy was very, very, very a diligent practitioner. He was a great martial artist. He taught a lot of things: self-defense, life experience, survival tactics, and he meant a lot to me. And losing Hanchi Rico Guy was very hurtful thing for me, and I'm just saying that he meant something to me on a father figure level as well. But I've never seen a person that was very strong, diligent minded, smart, and strong, you know, and the way how he taught was the way how he was. He was a strong man and he taught to survive. You know, I love Hanchi, Rico guy. He meant a lot to me. And it's a loss to not just the martial arts world. It's a loss to many others. I mean, he taught me a lot about destroy and conquer. And, it's a huge loss. And to me, my most fondest memory of Hanchi Rico guy is probably one of the times when he told me about destroy and conquer and, you know, never taking nothing for granted. Nothing for granted. He always spoke about that, you know, anything's goal, you know what I'm saying? But I love Hanchi Rico guy. Thank you guys for listening to me. I'm Randy Kendricks, Go Kempo student, and not just a student of life. And I want to say is us. Peace, love, and respect to everybody. Us.
Grandmaster Rico guy. Rico. Uncle Rico. I must have met Rico guy when I was about 15 or 16 years old at a martial arts event in Manhattan. I think it was a school on 10th Street. That's a long time ago. He was into judo a long time ago, karate, and then another style of karate, which is Goju karate. He was really, really talented, a serious martial artist. He had a rather complete repertoire. He incorporated fighting, kata, and not just the forms of martial arts, but he was into the application of the techniques and what a lot of people call the hidden aspects of technique that you don't get to see or even read about. He was a traditionalist. He was very, very committed to his art. And over the years, we've gotten so much closer. He was he became a mentor, a friend, and over the last few years, like an uncle. I'm going to miss the late night conversations that we used to have. Rico or Penny would send me a message, "Are you up?" It'd be like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'd always say yes. They would do the same. I couldn't sleep. I'd text them, "Are you guys up?" "Yes." "You want to talk?" And they were always there. Rico would always ask me how I'm doing. And a few days before he left, I knew that he wasn't feeling very well. I called to talk to him about how he was doing, and he switched it up on me. He said, "So how you doing, man? Are you taking care of yourself? What kind of vitamins are you taking?" And then he was gone. Before you know it, he was gone. I'm going to miss him. Not just as a martial artist. His counsel is invaluable to me. His advice was really sound and he helped me out many times. I'm going to miss him. Grandmaster Rico guy. Love you, brother. Chin.
So, my name is Andre Knight, and to say a few words about Hanchi Rico guy. I met Hanchi back in 1997, and I went upstairs into the dojo and basically no class was going on. I was 18 years old, and I had questions about Kempo. I saw the ad in the yellow pages. And what struck me the most is how he always took time to sit down and just explain martial arts principles to newbies. I was a newbie. I knew nothing about martial arts other than what I saw in the movies, and he basically said, as a martial artist, your goal is to destroy and conquer. And I mean, in the 20 years that I've known him and practiced Go Kempo Jitsu and trained and everything, it's really about destroying and conquering yesterday's self. I'm grateful to you, Hanshi, and I'm grateful to you to give me this opportunity. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Charles Smith. I'm one of Chief Grandmaster Rico Guy's students. Just anything he's taught me in life is how to take value in people. I'm one of his kendo students. We'd spar a lot in kendo, in Japanese fencing. You build up a pretty good relationship with the person you spar with. You get to understand them more. Not just how they fight. A lot of times how they feel. Fighting with Hanshi, you got some interesting feelings, interesting stories from it. We would go to events and spar. I'd try to show off, get some good score in. He would never have it. I tried as hard as I could, and always he wouldn't even let me get a point. All the points were his. We're all in this together. I know we all miss him. Rest in peace, Chief Grandmaster Rico Guy.
Chief Grandmaster Rico Guy, Sensei Edward Kent, in honor and respect, just wanted to say a few words to people around the world and at the dojo. Love. What Hanshi has taught me about being a human being is, I can't put a word on it. It's just a great feeling inside that I have for Hanshi, and I'll always know that Hanshi will be watching us. And I'd like to dedicate this song, and let's sing it. Let's all sing together. Great human being, like a father to me, Chief Grandmaster Rico Guy. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear. How precious did my grace appear the hour I first believed. Everyone, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Respect. Us.
Hi, my name is Eugene Gilmore. I'd like to send my regards to the family on brother Grandmaster Corinthians Rico Guy. And just to say a few things of when we met. I met him several times at schools in Brooklyn and Queens, and I was also at his school in Manhattan. And Rico is a fabulous guy. I always like sitting down talking with him. He brings up old stories and of the past and things to say. And I told him I was from Staten Island, and I believe I remember him when I was real little, across the street on Pine Street before he went and moved over to Manhattan. He was telling me about, and I told him who my grandfather was, and he knew the name and remembered him. But also with Rico, he was telling me things about his first teacher, Bill Davis. You know, how rough and rugged he was on the mat and stuff. And Rico kind of like grabbed me with his fingers and like pulled and grabbed the skin and said, "We didn't play, we didn't." So you know, I kind of always had that memory of being touched by him. But then one day he also said to me, he said, "You know, we're family anyway," and it always stuck with me, and I always felt proud to know that he was from the island and you know knew of my genes and my people in Staten Island. So once again, my regards about Rico. He was a great guy, fabulous guy, good teacher and instructor. Us.
Hey, Granddad, rest in peace. I miss you so much, man. I wish you was here. It's real hard not to know that you're not here. I know that you're always here, Pops. You hear me? And always protecting us. And thank you for being there for us, man. All of us, especially me. Your daughter, your grandkids, your great-grands. Thank you so much, man. It's very hard right now. Every day is moving real slow. But I know it'll get better, you know? I know it'll get better in due time. I love you, man. I have a lot of things I, still want to talk to you about. Just thank you so much just for being in my life, man. All the time we spent together, I learned a lot from you. I guess I had to do that with my kids, and I didn't get it for you about just talking, and like you said, don't stop giving up. I miss you, man. I wish you was here. I miss going to Long Island and building with you and just working and just, listening while you work and watch you work. I learned a lot of things, and I'm happy that I had you to teach me that. And it's going to be real hard, but we miss you, Pops, and I miss you, man, so much. You hear me? And I want everybody that you done touched, man, to know how much you meant to them, and they know how much you meant to. I love you, man. I love you from the bottom of my heart. You hear me?
Living with Granddad and Grandma was an experience in itself. We were always doing stuff. There was never a dull moment in our home. We either went on trips to Long Island to go hang out there to have barbecues and fix up the house and just hang out, to trips to Antigua, Tortola, Puerto Rico. We've had trips to Europe. It was just always amazing times, but the ones that really stick out to me were when we were just in the house, hanging out, chilling, got to watch our movies with our popcorn or going to the movies and just enjoying each other as a family.
Us. This is Shihan Kim.
Shihan Tai.
In memory to Hanshi Rico Guy. I just want to say I have the most fondest memories of him when we would go out to eat together with Penny, Ron, myself, and Hanshi. We just had the greatest time, and I will never forget his stories and just being a part of his life and being able to break bread with him. I will never forget that.
Right. I'll never forget the first time I actually met Hanshi Rico. He was actually talking Japanese, and he was showing off his swords to me. And I told him that I wanted to learn. So when he invited us down for his seminar, that was really a cool experience, just to let him impart his wisdom, to show us what his system was about. And I'll never forget how nice of a guy that he was. So,
from Agape Karate family to your family, we miss you, we love you, we will never forget you. Us.
To the Guy family, my deepest condolences on the passing of Hanshi Rico Guy. I first met Hanshi in Atlantic City about 10 years ago at the Action Martial Arts Hall of Fame ceremony. I was introduced to him by my Taekwondo instructor, Master Gregory Glover. About 6 years ago, I attended his Japanese sword seminar for the first time. It was a very strict seminar. I made a lot of mistakes. That Sunday morning, there was a vendor there, and I bought my first sword, really loving the sword seminar. The following summer, in June, I then attended another sword seminar and became a student in that September. I loved the sword. I loved training, and it was such an awesome experience with Hanshi. Memories of Hanshi that I will cherish forever. One Sunday afternoon, he spent 3 hours with me on how to slide on my feet and do the proper footwork. His patience and kindness is what made him such an excellent teacher. Doing the cutting on Long Island on the tamashigiri mats and having the barbecue. Having sushi and sake at Hokkaido. Having Hanshi come to my dojo in Staten Island doing a seminar. Favorite expressions I can never forget. One thinking. And when you're doing a sword kata, don't raise your eyes up like Luke Skywalker. Don't walk like you're from Texas. And stay down in your Sadushi. Don't go up and down. Hanshi lived the life of a true Buddha. He left a tremendous legacy. I was honored to be a student. I will continue his teachings. Hanshi was not just a martial artist, but a tremendous human being. All the students are blessed to have known and trained with such a great person.
Hi, I'm Grandmaster Robert Sugar Crossan, and today I want to pay tribute to a friend, to a brother, to a great and outstanding martial artist who has moved on from this realm of life. And I'm talking about Grandmaster Rico Guy. Not only was he a great martial artist, but he was a great person. And I think that his first name should have been Great instead of Rico, because he was truly a great guy. He always carried a smile. He always had an encouraging word. He was always there if you needed him, always willing to help. And when I say he was a dynamic martial artist, he was. Oh yeah, he could use that sword. He was known as the Black Samurai, but believe it or not, he didn't need that sword to do work if he had to. But Rico Guy was a fantastic person. I had the opportunity to meet him, or we met each other about 40 years ago when we both had afros. And we've been friends ever since. And we've been brothers ever since. And it's a sad day that he will no longer be with us in this physical and present realm of the world. But I know he's up in heaven doing his thing. So I want to just say to the family, my condolences, peace and love, strength and the blessings from the Creator. And we're going to miss you, Rico. Thank you for your contribution to the world, because you inspired so many, you've taught so many, and you are a true pioneer and legend. And in that I say, us. God bless.
Some last thoughts. Some people get to live their life and feel that they truly never lived. Every day of my life with Rico was vital and full. He really lived. We lived in the now, laughed, cried, loved, and overall felt that life was so worthwhile living. When I first met Rico, he was still teaching Goju Karate at Yoshitaro Otani School on 13th Street in Greenwich Village. He invited me to train with him at his new school on 14th Street, So I joined along with my 9-year-old son, Gregory. I soon learned that he was a physical genius, could dance, sing, do construction, locksmithing, to name a few. He kept up with his locksmith license for 42 years. The first 10 years together was definitely a learning experience. He taught me so many things like choose your battles, he'd advise. You may get stressed and disappointed, but remember that that mountain you are climbing will not always be smooth, but will have jagged peaks. Treat people well going up the ladder of success, because you may see them when you're coming back down. Look inside yourself to find your melody or dream in life. Embrace it and get on track. Then in 1982, we moved in together and found that we both became witnesses to each other's lives. Our son William was born. The dojo was evolving nicely. Rico had students from all parts of New York City, out of state, and even visiting from other countries. Life was fun, adventurous, and a real learning merry-go-round. His own grandmother, who helped raise him, lived a long life. She lived to 107 years old. So we started to think, and then we stepped up and offered an opportunity to two of our grandkids who wound up living with us for a number of years. My own mom, at the age of 90, lived with us at the same time the grandkids were with us. What a challenging time that was. Rico chose this life. He and his martial arts made it exciting for all of us. I'm glad and thankful that I was a witness to his courageous life.
A time for everything, right? Um, and hear all these testimonies, all these words, thinking about Rico, listen all what all the people say about him. We can know like he was a person who used his time really, really well. Amen. He was using his time to put his passion on it. And one of his quote was like, "Do right or no, or better don't do it. Don't do it, right?" And I guess that is something that we can learn about his life. We are here to celebrate his life, his legacy, and I guess that is something that we can learn about him. Is that we can apply that things in our life to help us to do better every day, to do our best every day. And I guess that is something that Rico was doing really, really good, right? It's just, for me, I just want to say that we can use his legacy for all these years, training different people, making that they can do their own best, right? And in his family. And you can see, I met him, probably I didn't have time to pass a lot of time with him, but because of all these people is saying about all these things about him, you can know that he was a great person because his legacy, right? And it's something that we need to try to keep alive, right? Everything that he was teaching, how he was teaching, and the constants that he have, right? Like, how was like 40 years, more than 40 years, right? Doing the classes here is wow. Is the whole life, and I just wanna add about this, about the time for everything, right? And it's something that we can keep in our hearts. Like, it's not late for us. It's not late for all of us to start doing our best every day. and follow his legacy. I just want to honor Rico guy in this afternoon and put this knowledge about him and about what the Bible tells us. God bless you.
We deeply appreciate everybody, the heartfelt expressions, the sympathy in your time of great sorrow. Thank you for all the kind words, the reflections and support. Our heart is also goes out to each and every person that knew Rico. He will forever be remembered and greatly missed. I want everybody to know the dojo will still be open. We will still be active. And please, I ask you guys to keep us in your prayers. We love you. Us. Thank you.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through, that I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Don't let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
like yesterday, we used to rock the show. I laced the track, you locked the flow. So far from hanging on the block for dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. Through your family, I'll fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime. The night they took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you.
It's kinda hard with you not around. Know you in heaven smiling down, watching us while we pray for you. Every day we pray for you, till the day we meet again. In my heart is where I keep you, friend. Memories give me the strength I need to proceed, strength I need to believe. My thoughts big, I just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time. Us in the six, shop for new clothes and kicks. You and me taking flicks, making hits, stages they receive you on. Still can't believe you're gone. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you. Somebody tell me why. One black morning, when this life is over, I know I'll see your face. Every night I pray, every step I take, every move I make, every single day, every night I pray.
Every day that passes is a day that I get closer to seeing you again. We miss you, babe, and we won't stop, cause we can't stop. That's right. We miss you, babe.
Every step I take, every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you. Every step I take, every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day, thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you. Every step I take, every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing your face. Thinking of the
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond. And that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn. And that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
So let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
This right here, tell me what goes out to everyone that has lost someone that they truly love. Come on, check it out. Seems like yesterday we used to rock the show. I laced the track, you locked the flow. So far from hanging on the block for dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. Through your family, I'll fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime. The night they took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you.
It's kinda hard with you not around. Know you in heaven smiling down, watching us while we pray for you. Every day we pray for you, till the day we meet again. In my heart is where I keep you, friend. Memories give me the strength I need to proceed, strength I need to believe. My thoughts big, I just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time. Us in the six, shop for new clothes and kicks. You and me taking flicks, making hits, stages they receive you on. Still can't believe you're gone. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break, I'll be missing you. Somebody tell me why. One bad morning, when this life is over, I know I'll see your face. Every night I pray, every step I take, every move I make, every single day, every night I pray.
Every day that passes is a day that I get closer. Seeing you again. We miss you, babe.